Hit the wrong switch.
Uh-oh.
Hello, and welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so of course we're
Terrible.
playing our Star Wars campaign, Remnant Shadow, using the old D6 West End game system. Last week we met our crew. They were given a passenger and sent off to the corporate zone, or corporate sector, excuse me, by Arnox the Hutt, who had gifted them with their ship after an unfortunate incident that had cost them their previous one. Things did not go according to plan, though. As they dropped their target off, they discovered it was a trap, sprang the trap, and I don't know, would you say mercilessly cut down your opponents?
We were ensuring the safety of the package.
While also providing the galaxy the free service of pest control.
Because I believe, let's see, the last two, I believe, one of them was trying to get away in an escape pod and got shot out of the air.
Yeah, pest control.
And the other one was
he was a fly. He was obviously a fly. It's totally pest control. I just used a really sophisticated fly swatter.
Alright. So we wrapped up, really just right there. Y'all just dropped the last guys.
Oh, I need to actually hit launch game. That might help.
Only if you want to see your character sheet.
It's been a long day. It's all good.
Alright, so I believe... just realized I ain't got everybody's characters' names memorized yet. I believe Io... Iria? How do you say your name again, Eric?
Iria.
And your passenger, Cubree, were all on board the other ship. And you could tell that it's been partially stripped, or they were in the process of stripping it. For parts. Obviously, it's still got power. The guns still work. You know that.
Yeah. What is our passenger's name again?
Cubree.
Cubree Naada.
Cubree Naada. Okay. I'm starting another codex.
Oh boy.
Well, I mean, he's the captain.
One of us has to.
Has to have this info.
No, it makes sense for the captain to have it.
It's the captain's log.
Yeah. Plant forced on
Wrong system.
crew
Or
by...
truthfully, wrong universe.
I know it's a pretty universal thing for ship captains, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be surprised if Han Solo had one, but he was kind of chaotic.
He has a diary.
Whereas Iria definitely does, because he's more, I'm a businessman. So you guys keep track of this thing.
It's less of a captain's log. It's more of like a, what do you call
Ledger.
it? Ledger.
Yeah.
He keeps two. Here's the ledger that I show customs officials, and here's my actual ledger.
I mean, basically, you're not wrong.
Business. It's personal ledger.
That's why the R2 unit has a compartment in it that requires like 25 and better rolls to actually detect.
Alright. So, a quick search of the ship shows there's nobody else on board. There are some blaster scorch marks on the walls. So whoever was supposed to be manning this ship apparently did not go down without a fight.
Let's see. So in that second box, I put had a slug through a rifle, hold out blaster, several vials of poisons ranging from stomach ache to death in minutes. Was there anything else that I missed?
And Cubree's luggage that y'all searched?
Yes.
That you don't know about yet. Oh wait, no, you do know. We take the pictures and stuff? Never mind.
Yes.
The disguises.
Oh,
yeah, he had a variety of outfits.
They were
That
very
would-
obviously disguises.
that would fit with different levels of society. including a
I
dancing
think
girl's
that's-
outfit.
I think that was about it though.
Okay.
The rifle was chambered and not like a laser rifle.
Yeah, I'll put slug thrower.
Yep.
I want to say there was a dart gun too.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
other
the
thing.
darts
That was
were how
part-
the poisons would be used more than likely.
Yeah. Distributed via dart gun. Okay. My sort of like in character reason why he's doing this is he keeps track of people, so he knows like who's good client, who's not. So he writes up these sort of like quick dossiers on people.
Assassin? Question mark?
That's what puts suspected assassin. I'll need to get the info on the hut and his cousin from you after game, so I can add it in.
I'm not even in the ship yet. They're doing whatever in the ship. Can I look around, see if there's tracks, bodies, something?
Oh, there's definitely bodies.
I will say Iria will go out on general comms for the crew.
Mhm.
He'll say Ozen, Ordo, police the bodies for gear, ammunition, armor, and weapons. Compile it together, load it onto our ship. IO, if it's still functional, go through the computer of this ship. We need info.
Yeah, got it, Captain. I'll do that. I'll go
Copy.
the bodies that are of the crew, I take it?
Hmm.
They're outside?
Oh, the
Yeah.
bodies outside that I was referring to are the ones you just created.
Oh, sure. No, not those. I'm looking for the bodies of the crew of this ship. Or tracks there leading outward.
Okay.
I'll search. I don't think there's a
Yeah, I don't think there's a specific track.
Mm.
So yeah, just roll your search, you'll be fine.
Yep. That is 13 total.
All right, 13. You find
have a
some
low
drag. I
rifle.
mean, there's lots of footprints around
Mhm.
where people have been moving around. But you find some tracks, some like drag marks that seem to head out into the woods.
Captain, I'm seeing some drag marks leading out to the woods nearby.
Are they fresh?
Jam.
With the 13. Yeah, you think so. I mean, they're not deep enough that that rain wouldn't have covered them up or something. So, anybody hearing an echo?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm not.
I'm
You're
not
probably-
either.
Probably coming from you, Eric.
It is. Because now I hear it.
Then Ozin will say, maybe it looks they're not too deep.
Okay.
No, I looked at it. My mic was procking on Discord when you all were talking too.
That's weird.
Yeah. Can y'all say something again? I want to check it.
Testing
Something.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, it's not lighting up anymore.
All right.
Woo!
Fun with technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. So yes, you find
Uh,
drag marks going down to the woods. You think they're probably fairly fresh. I mean,
A little fresh, maybe
Hmm.
within maybe the last few hours.
All right, take Kessler with you. Scout it out. I'll police the bodies myself.
Let's go, Metal Lady.
Of course, you're not gonna see it, but Kelso rolls her eyes at that comment and goes to follow.
All right.
Yeah, we'll go up. I'm intending to go quietly, so if you're not, I am.
Say while they're doing their search bit, Iria is gonna go through the bodies they made, collect all their weapons, all like blaster packs, any gear they might have had, and any functional armor that wasn't damaged.
All right. There was what, 3 guys outside?
There was 3 outside, and then the one that was in the ship that you shot out of the sky.
All right. They've all got blaster pistols.
I think one had a rifle.
Yes, and one of them had a rifle.
Okay.
Is it a blaster? No, just a blaster rifle.
Was it 3 or 4 outside? Because I remember there being someone up here. Did he run back in the ship?
Oh, he did. Yeah, I remember that. There was a 4th guy that ran into the ship that Io and Cubree chased.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, because they killed one up here.
Yeah, he was killed
there.
here. And then the guy on the ship blasted
Okay.
off. But yeah, there was 4 outside. So it was 1.
Okay, it was 3 of them and the guy with the rifle.
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
Well, even the guy with the rifle had a blaster pistol on his hip.
Okay, so one rifle, 4 pistols.
And they all had
I'll go ahead and state it for the record that if us as the party have time, anytime we go through a group of thugs like this is what Irie is going to be doing. It's free merchandise at that point.
waste not, want not.
It's free real
Scavenger.
estate.
I mean, absolutely. He is a gun runner. These are weapons on dead people.
Yeah.
course
They're
it's gonna
also
take
all wearing protective vests.
Okay. Are any of those vests too damaged from the fight to be repaired?
I'll drop them pretty quick. No, you could probably, a couple of them need to be patched, but they're patchable.
All right.
I mean, you're not going to get, you're not going to get brand new prices for them, but
Well, yeah, that makes
Probably
sense.
use one of them, to be honest.
But credits are credits. So he'll take the armor, he'll take all of their weapons, he'll take the blaster packs that go with them, and any spares that they might have. Do you have any gear as well?
2 of them had, your typical kind of utility belt.
Okay.
So flashlights, liquid rope, that sort of stuff. There are 2 med packs amongst them.
Okay, he'll take those.
And 2 of them had comm units.
Okay.
Nothing fancy, just the basic radio style ones.
Yeah, so 3 med packs.
Jason's like, I'm sending Nidax after these motherfuckers.
Okay.
So it just means every time y'all show up at a port, I'm going to nickel and dime you with all the refueling costs and import taxes.
So you said 1 blaster rifle, not a carbine.
No, it was a rifle.
4 blaster pistols. 2 cons. Okay.
Alright. And
Sorry.
own the show. Sarah's stepped away, so we'll go with Rappy stepped away too.
I still have
Happy
my
to hear you.
headset on.
Oh,
though.
okay. You're still good then.
All
Alright,
right,
well,
that's it, baby.
Good.
we'll cut to
I just-
Ozen and Keltzer out in the woods then.
Mhm.
Alright, so you're trying to move. Are y'all trying to move stealthily or?
I am.
Yeah.
If I have to separate from Kelser to do so, I will. But
No, Kelso
I
would
am.
go
Okay, cool.
stealthily too.
Alright, give me a stealth roll.
So, try this meat.
Hide. Okay, cool. Oh. 6, 8. 4 dice and I rolled an 8. That's bullshit.
It's not good now.
12.
Still.
Sneak. Yeah. Okay, let's see. 12.
Okay.
13. 13.
You hear some animals scurrying off, as you make your way through. But you trace back to deeper into the woods, to a little clearing where you see a mound of dirt where somebody has obviously dug a decent-sized hole and filled it back in.
Do you think the bodies are in there?
Only one way to find out.
Do you
Move
have a
forward
shovel?
towards it. No, I don't. But I don't know if they did either. Keep moving forward and check the mound. Make sure there's nothing hinky about it.
Looking over the mound, it's fairly fresh. We probably hadn't been here for more than a couple days.
Mhm.
But you see signs that someone has been digging back into it.
Interesting. That's a different dig mark.
It's like it was piled up, and then as you start to walk around it on the other side from where you approached, it looked like somebody had started digging.
Does it look like digging out? Like they're trying to pull something out of it?
The marks make you think somebody was using like a shovel or a spade.
No. I mean, someone came around and is starting to dig out for something.
It's like somebody found the pile and started digging into it.
Do I get the sense that they stopped at some point? Maybe because we showed up, or something else happened?
You don't know how fresh it is, but there are footprints around, in the loose dirt around it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not booted like you guys or like the guys y'all took out.
These ones aren't booted. Maybe natives?
Maybe.
It looks like they were probably wearing some kind of soft-soled shoe, like a moccasin or
Sure.
soft leather or anything like that.
Okay, so not like a hardy but light boot or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a shoe. It'd be like a casual wear shoe.
Yeah, you can't really tell that much. It's not anything that had any kind of tread or anything.
Sure. Okay. Leisure shoes, maybe? Captain, I think the natives here are aware of at least the place where they buried the bodies.
Well then, keep an eye out, and try not to antagonize them if you do run into them.
Happy. Now, I will start. There isn't a shovel nearby, right?
No.
Like there isn't just one sticking out somewhere?
No.
Okay. Yeah, you'll just, because it's theoretically tilled, so just kind of going in a little bit and seeing if there's something immediately. Not gonna go the whole however much they dug, but just a little bit to see what may be in there that might have been important.
He's doing that.
Just a little grave robbing.
Kilser
treat.
will keep an eye out of the surroundings.
That's what he's doing. His graves are just fresher.
Let me look at Kilser's. Okay. Alright, so you basically Kilser's on Overwatch while Ozen is digging. Alright, so we will cut back to the ship.
Oh boy.
By the way, where is Doc at?
I was gonna say Doc is just somewhere.
I mean, get an existential crisis in the ship.
Probably. Doc would have probably gone in with the captain and the rest of the crew that went inside the ship to investigate.
Okay. Then if you're poking around the ship's med bay has already been like stripped of anything portable. I mean, some of the like attached equipment is still there, but like they've emptied the shelves basically.
Yeah.
And was Io going to try to go through the computer?
Yeah, if it's still functioning, she's gonna go through it.
Yeah, the ship still got basic power. And yeah, the computer consoles all still seem to be functioning.
Yep, she is rummaging around in there, maybe seeing who the original crew of this was, who the ship was owned by, where it's coming from, all those things.
Alright, give me a roll.
If it has any kind of like security footage or anything, she'll look at that too. Did we agree like security for the slicing, or what do we want to do for this one?
Yeah, I think we were. Yeah, because it falls under technical. Yeah, I think security would be good for slicing.
$28.
All right. 28's probably good enough. Yeah, I mean they've got some baseline security on here, but you know, it's about like an average home desktop. You know, it's not something that people go out of their way to secure. The ship is registered to a blonde Felis. Blonde Felis.
Blonde or blonde?
BLON. Blonde.
Okay. I was hearing blonde Felis. I'm like,
Belongs to a blonde cat.
speaking of, we eventually need to go to that planet that Ozen was on so we can get one of them cats. We need a ship mascot.
Maybe I'll give you an Ewok later. Or a Gungan.
You know, the Gungan's getting shot.
Alright, ship along to Blonde Fearless.
There's not a list of the crew in there as far as their names. The last planet they were docked at I'll find it. Just give me a second. Clearly, I need to get a highlighter.
Highlight through your book.
Well, no, I printed out a map of the corporate sector.
Oh, nice. Handy.
Come on, I was staring at it just a minute before we got on. Oh, there it is. Kalla.
Kalla.
Kalla, yeah. It's at basically a crossroads between a couple of the smaller hyperspace routes through the sector. Back during the Empire, there was an Imperial base on it. It's well known in the sector for its colleges as well. You know, fairly major planet.
Okay. Any ship name? Any what they were carrying? You know. If they'd had any communication, maybe with Arnox or
Probably.
what's our dude? The package dude. I can't remember his name.
Oh, Cubree.
Yep.
Cubree.
You find a message they received from Ludo, which was Arnox's nephew. basically giving them where they needed to be to pick up the package. Package is not referred to by name. If somebody was listening on the conversation, it might literally sound like they were picking something, picking up some cargo.
Yeah.
But they were apparently supposed to bring it back to Kala.
No interior, like security footage or anything. Nothing like that.
No, not really.
Okay. What was the ship's name?
That's a very good question.
randomshipnamegenerator.com.
I mean,
Random
there's a site.
Star Wars ship generator name.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There's a website I use called Fantasy Name Generators.
And that's exactly where that search took me.
Yep.
God
That's
bless
how I
the
got my
person that
name.
runs that.
Yep.
God bless them. Every now and again, I just throw them like $5 for helping me out with every D&D game I've ever made.
Yeah, whoever runs that site, if you happen to be listening,
We
you're
love
safe.
you.
We
Thank
love
you.
you.
The first name that comes up on the list, because it's it spits out a list of them.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Hutta Messenger.
There you go.
A little on the nose, but we'll go with it.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I mean, hey,
If it
The
works,
The
it works.
equivalent of like
Though Naboo
maybe they
Gauntlet
worked for
also
Ludo
worked.
too.
Maybe.
it's the equivalent of like Pimp My Ride for this guy.
All he does is just pimp out shit his uncle has to give to people. Alright. She will pass on that information. And once they get back on the ship, she'll probably do a little bit more digging into the ship itself. Maybe see if we can find footage of where they were previously and all that.
Okay.
Astrogation logs are a thing.
Well, mostly just to see like what maybe the previous crew was.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, she doesn't know about the graves, so maybe they'll find the previous crew. Who knows?
Maybe.
Do I find the previous crew in here?
You dig for about 15 minutes, and then finally you come across somebody's shoulder.
Huh? Oh, there it is.
Found something?
That's a shoulder.
Hmm.
Pull the body out.
I think Heath's in the chat.
Hi Heath.
Hello.
You're watching a bratty Jedi grave rob right now.
Like that's an
Well, you haven't stolen anything from the body yet.
Just
Nope,
its
I'm
dignity.
Yet is the key term.
Its dignity was stolen when it started working for a hut.
I'm sure the Hut was a respectable businessman, like your dear friend Arnox.
Uh-huh. Anyway.
But yeah, you managed to pull the body out. It's a male human. He's still clothed, but it looks like he's already been searched for valuables.
Okay. Captain, I found the bodies of the crew. Or the crew that was supposed to take our friend.
Status.
Extremely dead.
Yes, but is there any identifying markers on them? Anything we might be able to use?
Just do like a quick pat and just, they've been tossed it seems. Let's see. And I'll check for maybe an ID of some sort.
This fella is wearing a jacket that has what you would assume is a ship name. Cut a messenger.
He's definitely got the right clothes for the ship. I'm assuming the
Well,
Huda
if
messenger
Io,
is.
yeah, I say if Io has told you what the ship's name was.
Well, yeah, I'm assuming someone with a human with a jacket that says Huda messenger is gonna be on the ship that was working for the Huts.
Maybe it's like a delivery company, like a Uber Eats or something.
What do they Uber? Slugs?
Yes. Salt.
I don't know.
I'll have you know, escargot is illegal on Alhuda.
And I'm sure,
for some reason,
I'm sure bringing a metric fuck
imagining-
ton of salt will be too.
I'm just imagining someone who has just a big grievance with the Huts, like goes to Nal Hutta, is like, here's several tons of salt just dumped on your mansion now.
Oh gosh.
I'm snowed
I
in.
don't know if
the
it would
wrong
affect.
way.
I don't know if it would affect them though. They don't have a mucus membrane.
Well, yeah.
It's more the hate crime aspect than it is like
Just racism, speciesism.
Speciesism,
God.
yeah, basically.
Basically.
Curse you, slugs!
anyway. Welcome to Tuesdays, y'all.
Where we do crazy stuff.
Tangents.
Then I'll get on and just be like, I'm assuming the person that has a human with the jacket that says Huda messenger is for that ship, so that's our identifier.
Well, that's a little on the nose. He'll go back in the ship. Io, can you confirm the name of the ship for me?
How to messenger. It's a little on the nose.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right.
Is it just the one person? Is there like a huge like pit with a bunch of different people?
Oh no,
Just the one?
this pile's definitely big enough to have a few bodies in it.
There may be more. I'm not 100%.
All right.
They've
Dig them
probably
out.
all been tossed as well.
If you decide to dig them all out, police the bodies, then return.
Copy. I look at shit, characters are
Ulcer.
new character who dis Kelster, yes. I'll look at Kelster and just be like, alright, your turn.
Mhm. And
And
guess they'll swap.
I'll go on Overwatch.
And she'll start digging.
This is where I find out that the Mandalorian has like a power shovel just
Transformers into like a bulldozer.
I'll make sure to put the body I have on one side so that. But we'll just assume we're like switching off doing this.
Well,
While they're doing
as Kelter's getting ready to start digging, you hear a voice from the woods, speaking in heavily accented basic.
Mhm.
Perhaps this would help. You turn around, there's a humanoid figure there. One hand's raised up, the other one is holding a shovel.
Like the baton back into place.
The person is wearing leather outfit, those soft soled shoes like I described, all very low tech. They have a hood pulled up. Though what you can see of the features, large eyes, not like full on anime eyes, but noticeably bigger than like human. Black people's, and then the rest of the eyes are yellow. You got little bony spots kind of running on the side of their face.
Do I recognize this race?
You don't think
species?
you've seen this species before.
That's gonna be my gimmick this whole time, is like seeing if I recognize species. Being 57, long lived.
But he pulls his hood back as he's talking. Rather than hair, there seems to be like small, kind of a light dusting of very colorful feathers.
Can I help you? Or I guess, besides the shovel?
Perhaps the the local ruler sent a team of us out to investigate rumors of off-worlders.
Mission accomplished.
Yes.
Found us.
When we found this, we began to investigate. I see he gestures to the body. I see our suspicions were right about what this was.
Kind of give a look to Kelser. And I just turn back as he's talking.
If you're wishing, if you're wishing to retrieve these people, then he's like, by all means, you can, use this tool. Use the shovel will speed things up. Like I said, he's talking slowly, kind of like I am. And he's speaking basic, and you can understand him, but it's clearly not his first language.
Definitely not a first language situation. I'll slowly approach. No more weapons in hand. The shovel. Hand it to Kelser.
Kelser would grab the shovel, start digging.
You managed to extract another 3 bodies.
Well, you've met the off-worlders. Here we are. We gotta go now.
Actually, we were sent here because the king is in need of off-worlder assistance.
That is oddly specific.
We know you have access to medicines that we don't. And our people are suffering from a plague.
Mood.
Looking again at Kelser. Give us a moment. We need to confer with our agents.
Of course. Do you need help returning these bodies to your ship?
No. We're just going to check for identifiers and memorialize them otherwise.
Oh, I see.
And we'll check for IDs or whatever. When we find out there's nothing there, we'll just go back to where the others are. Or I will.
Okay. Well, this guy. Let's see. Okay, yeah, covered his description pretty good. He just sort of trails along behind you.
I look back at moving. Take maybe come down from like this mound and go down a little bit. And I hear footsteps. I'm like, stop.
He's not
Turn
trying
around.
to be sneaky or nothing. I mean, he's just.
No. I understand. I stop, turn around. Can we help you?
Well, I was hoping to. We were hoping to convince you to come speak to our king. Are you the one in charge, or?
No, I'm going to speak to those in charge. That was what I was about to do here.
I see. Would
You don't have.
Would you prefer that I wait here?
Yes. Please.
Ah, well, very well then.
About face turns back.
He looks mildly nervous, like he's not 100% sure you're coming back.
He's right to think that. Look at Kelser, I'm just like, think about that.
Huh. I mean, I don't know. Do I want to stay on the backwater planet? Not really.
Don't know if can your boy synthesize some sort of, I don't know, antidote, quick and dirty, just like, here you go. Alright everyone, fuck off.
Not unless he doesn't know what it is that they're plagued with.
Surely a droid can't be hit with the. Maybe we should have asked him if he had the. Oh well, too late.
The plague and brought it with us?
Uh-huh.
No.
The thing about telling people is it doesn't matter if they tell us or not. If they have it, it's still going to spread.
Gonna need,
But we
gonna
don't
need both
want
your
to,
characters to say 6 feet back.
but we don't need to bring it onto the ship.
No, I.
So
What?
you
So what are we doing?
I'll talk to the group and figure out what we're doing next.
That's what I thought. But what if we're about to transmit it to the crew?
I mean, if you're gonna transmit it to the crew.
What are you doing?
Fully contained armor.
I'm
Right, your shell.
Yeah, and she will point to what she's wearing, like
Cling, cling, cling. Right, that.
Quick question: is that Durasteel or Beskar?
we said that I couldn't get Beskar yet.
Yeah, it's Durasteel.
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to go. If that's Beskar, go. Okay, where's our shit?
No, it was me and him already talked. We weren't gonna give me that yet.
While she's asleep, we're going to take the armor, sell it.
Get
And
a
then-
completely new ship.
And then, die.
Worth
Go
it.
you.
That's just the plot to the Mandalorian, guys. That's just the plot to the Mandalorian.
Well, I mean, we do have that one dude's suitcase that has the, kill somebody in a few minutes poison. So, just like.
Anyway.
Yes. Tangents.
Captain, native showed up.
Yes, and
We have a bit of an issue.
we always
Potential
have an
issue.
Apparently, they have been having to deal with a plague amongst their group of people.
As primitive civilizations are wont to do. What's the point?
They're
Okay.
wondering if we can help heal their people.
I was just saying, just send the droid and have at it.
I don't want to send the droid by itself.
Send the droid and the other person who can't get a plague.
Give me a moment. And Iria will, since I noted this down on his character sheet, he does because of the bond that he shared, the Force Ghost of his sisters is with him most of the time. So he's gonna find a place, sit down, close his eyes, and sort of meditate and see if she whispers anything to his ears.
But is he really a Force ghost, or is he just crazy?
Yes.
Could be.
To all things, yes.
But that's how I have it noted down, is like there are two halves of the same coin. In the tapestry of destinies that the Mirialans believe in the Force is she was the light, he's the darkness.
You don't hear her saying anything to you.
Mm-hmm. So is
But
there
as
any,
you
like,
as you open your eyes for a brief second, you think you see her standing over you with a stern look on her face and kind of tapping a foot, like you know what you ought to do.
I was gonna peek outside, see if she recognizes the race. Just curiosity.
Well, they left the dude
he
back
didn't
in the
follow.
woods.
Yeah, we didn't bring him. with
Oh.
Yeah.
She just peeks outside anyways.
well, I mean, Iria is literally just sitting there cross-legged meditating, like in front of the ship.
That's weird, Captain.
I just got a stern talking to, so it's whatever. And he'll get up. Go get whoever it was that met you and bring him back.
Copy.
I
Like,
know what
that's
I
weird.
said.
Just don't want to bring it if they
Stop
have
in my tracks.
plague
About
back
face.
to you guys.
That's what we have Doc for. He can test them.
My tracks. About face. Go up. Back up to the mound.
When you get there, he's sitting there. He's kind of whittling. You know, he's got a knife out. He's whittling them
Got a little knife.
on a stick.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that was quicker than I expected.
Galactic technology. Do you have a name?
Yes, he tells you his name is Hellrun.
Hellrun. Okay. You're about to meet my captain. Come on.
Ah, excellent. And he gets
Really
up
awfully
followed.
charitable, so I would go with it. You are not carrying this thing, right?
No, I'm not sick.
Okay.
So is it Hell Run like Hell Run?
HELRUN.
Okay.
Yes.
So remove one L.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Chill. About facing. Head back down.
Guess Kelsar will bring up the rear, have the guy between the both of them.
Oh, I guess to update, there's no one else had anything else.
Understood.
And you know,
So-
Kelter, you're following behind him, and you see that other than that knife that he was willing with, which is more of a knife as a tool than a weapon, he appears to be unarmed. More unarmed than he should be, just even walking through the woods on a primitive planet. And he seems to be studying Ozin pretty closely. He's especially fascinated by her hair.
Going
Say-
like this in the like a RPG character.
Say at that point, Iria will stand up, just sort of turn, look at Irons like, you are annoyingly insightful sometimes.
He says that who?
To Io, because they've had this conversation before.
That's what I do.
Yeah. You're one of two people that can get me to do shit like this.
So Io is probably the first person to spot him. You know, if she's still kind of in the cockpit at the computer, looking out.
Yeah.
And you see Ozin and Elser with this other person between them. And pretty basic humanoid body plan. Arms are a little longer proportionally than humans, and 3-fingered hand, but
This planet was primitive to the point where it had not done space flight, did not have any, like, space ports, correct?
That is correct.
But they are looking for off-worlders.
This planet does not have like regular electricity in places.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he mentioned last week they had been in contact with off-worlders before. They're aware.
Mhm.
Of
Okay.
off-worlders,
Yeah,
but
they're aware
not
of off-worlders
barbaric.
that there was no worries of y'all getting like lynched as monsters if you showed up.
Okay. She's like,
You
this
just
is
never had a
weird.
corporate presence or a government take an interest in the planet.
Mhm.
There's no spice here. Okay.
Yep.
Coming from the Twi'lek, that's just
Little too on the nose, Captain.
yeah.
He becomes less fascinated with Ozen and more fascinated with the ships as you get close.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Well, she's like tapping on the keyboard.
Yeah.
Have fun with them.
Me have fun.
I
What
know, break your
galaxy-
habit.
Yeah, what galaxy do you think we're in? And he'll go and meet with them.
Oh, gamble. The corporate sector. Captain?
They're gonna get a real kick when they see Doc.
They probably already think Kelser's like a robot.
Fair.
So when he hears Ozen referred to you as the captain, he steps forward, introduces himself. Greetings, I'm Hilren, scout for the king.
Mm-hmm.
We were sent to try to make contact. Some local villagers saw lights and movement in the sky. I was sent to investigate. Well, I and some others were sent to investigate these rumors of off-worlders. As the king needs to employ off-worlder assistance.
For
Our people are suffering from a plague. And one of the king's viziers suggested off-world medicine might be the answer. We, of course, have no ships that can make such a voyage. So the king is hoping to hire someone to go purchase this medicine for us and bring it back.
Ooh, higher. You didn't see it.
And he sent you to be the negotiator for such an arrangement.
He sent me to try to set up an appointment for you to go talk to him.
What do your people have for trade?
Food, crafts.
Kind of crafts. Or should I be asking your king?
He could give you a fuller answer. Our league is particularly well known for its lumber.
I see.
To do this, I'm gonna go see if the droid can test me real quick.
Right.
Saddle off to the side.
Tell Doc I need them out here anyway.
Yep. Just you just see Ozen like go up into the gangplank of the ship and be like, Doc!
Alright. I'll meet with your king. But you'll need to wait here for now while we get everyone together.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, no, after Ozen yells into the ship, you just see Doc slowly emerge. Yes, I am summoned.
Two things. First, please, can you give me a scan real quick and see if I'm fucked up?
Affirmative. Performing medical scan.
I'm sorry. The ass in me wants to go, I'll need a scan for that.
All right. You do a quick medical examination. You take a sample.
Mhm.
All that jazz. And yeah, nothing crops up as being weird. Ozan seems as healthy as ever.
Congratulations, Ozan. You seem to be in perfect health. However, I must reiterate, the term of being fucked up, that is on you.
Beautiful bastard.
Who installed humor chit? Come on.
It was installed to be more bearable on long journeys.
Yep, come on. We're gonna go cure a plague.
Oh, exciting. I only get to read about these.
We'll
A
go down.
droid that reads? Who the hell made you?
And how do you turn pages with middle fingers?
Fuck, not again.
Suction cups.
I'm sure going, this is a medical droid that droids are, unless specifically being assault droids, are specifically programmed not to cause harm to other living beings. He's sitting there going, all right, blaster time.
Yes, I'm firing.
I'm a healer, but
The installments Kilser puts in when she had the credits.
So I'm just sitting here going, who the hell made this droid? They're going against all galactic protocol. Do we have to hide you when we dock places? Sorry.
No.
All right, so Ozan and Doc come walking back out.
where's Cubree in all this? How's he handling everything?
That's a good question. Pretty stoically. I mean, there's been a little bit of swearing, but not a whole lot.
I feel that.
He has he came up into the cockpit with you briefly and tried to use the communication equipment, but some of that's already been stripped out apparently.
It's broken. You can make a phone call when we're back on the ship.
And after that, he walked out of the cockpit, and you don't know where he's at.
I will tell R2 to lock the bridge down.
Okay. As Ozan and Doc walk up, Hellrun is, studying Doc pretty closely. You can then kind of look it over at Keltzer, studying Keltzer, looking back over at Doc.
Right. Doc, let's go save a planet.
I believe this is what humans would call fun. Yes?
I have no idea. I'm not human.
Yes, they would probably say other words like heroic or, I don't know, just.
Don't get me started on it. Let's just go.
Take us to your... Oh, I've always wanted to say that. Let's go.
Oh my god, I will slap you.
Well, he tells you, the capital is, a few days travel from here.
Back in the ship.
Right, let's fix that. Let's go.
Alright, well, you get on a ship. I would sit down if I were... when we get there.
And since we don't have any heavy-duty droids, you can't, strip the ship for parts, like those functioning laser cannons or anything like that.
Unfortunate.
Io does pretty much just download the entire contents of everything. She'll peruse it when she gets back to their ship.
So yeah, you got a list. Well, we'll go over it later. It's not too terribly important. All right, so y'all load back up on the Rubicon.
Mm-hmm.
When you send out the call, load it on the ship. Cubree comes out of the wreck of the stripped ship. He trots over there. Who's this?
Helrin, Cubree, Helrin.
Local?
We get to go play big damn heroes.
I'm not sure that's yeah, you're the captain.
I mean, I could leave you here with the stripped out ship if you really want to.
That's quite alright. Though I wonder if they were stripping this ship out, then where is their ship?
Yep. That's why we are moving.
We can always scan for it on the way.
Much as I would like to get those laser cannons since they're still functional. Actually, before we leave. Did you get everything you needed off the drives?
I made a direct copy of it, so yeah.
Okay. Would it be possible for us to strip that ship of the rest of its power? Like power cells and stuff like that?
I'm not sure what kind of reactors.
I'm not sure either, that's why I'm asking. If it's something that we could feasibly, remove safely to have, like, stuff to sell or backups for the Rubicon, then he would suggest it. And it would also completely derelict the ship, so it can't be used again.
You would probably need specialized equipment.
Specialized equipment, salvage droids.
Repulsor lifts, that sort of thing, to move some of this heavier equipment around.
Gotcha. Alrighty.
Don't accidentally set off an A-bomb in this primitive planet.
That's what I'm good at. Okay. Never mind then.
But yeah, you lift off in the ship. Helron is fascinated. Obviously a little bit afraid, but can't seem to pull himself away from the windows.
Just don't touch any of the blinky lights.
He directs you a little way south until you see this village, and then because he's pointing at the roads and whatnot. As you're taking off, you see, a little ways away from where all the ships were, you see a few more of his people step out of the woods and kind of watch the ship take off.
Was in the co-pilot seat. It's like they don't have a landing pad.
We'll find one. It's fine.
The Capitol building has a large courtyard.
Oh, that'll be a spectacle.
It's been used for the purpose before. 2 generations ago, I suppose.
So you're well aware with us off-worlders, then.
The occasional ship will come by, and our scholars have striven to keep knowledge of your language.
Fair enough. And he'll keep piloting until he gets there.
It's a day's travel walk, a day or two's travel walking. Flying in your ship, you're there in next to no time.
Yep.
It's a walled city. He directs you further in to He calls it the palace, but it looks more like an old school citadel. You know, it's a more fortified section. That's kind of got its own kind of walls. But sure enough, there's a large courtyard.
So this is a planet of like kind of medieval age, folks,
Or early Iron Age.
or the Iron Age, yeah.
Am I
Okay.
getting I wanna just real quick, just like I wanna use the force and just like do a general sense roll. And if anything's weird, I only have one dice and sense, and I don't use it for anything else.
All right,
rolled a
give me
2,
a
so-
roll.
I rolled a 2, so
Never mind.
don't worry about it. Just like
You don't have a bad feeling about this specifically.
Sure.
But you land in the courtyard. There's a lot of excitement when they see you. But nobody seems to be panicking. You know, you have some what are obviously like the palace guards that come out and kind of form up. You know. And they are armed. Spears, shields, you know. Like I said, Iron Age-ish sort of stuff.
anyone have a long sword?
Though you do notice, as you're landing, the citadel itself, the walls of the citadel, seem to have cannons.
Like medieval cannons?
Yeah, the like gunpowder based, you know, old
Yeah.
school cannonball fired cannons. Which seems more high tech than the rest of this stuff.
Maybe keep the shields on.
Well, they're on the walls pointed outward from the.
Okay. In case they want to turn the cannons real quick, or in like 40 minutes when they actually get the cannons turned.
And you know, you don't see anybody manning the cannon, so. But by the time you get the gangplank down, y'all are walking down, you've got some, you know, same species, but you know, some other folks in colorful robes. In fact, other than the scout you met, everybody you're seeing here seems to be in pretty colorful outfits. Maybe not the servants and stuff, but seems to be a mix of men and women coming to meet you. You notice the men seem to be the ones with the bright plumage, where the women tend to be blacks, grays, and kind of browns.
Oh, great, they're birds.
Well, they did have feathers.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, it's not like big. You know, they're little ones, but they cover the head. Some of the men have what almost looks like down, kind of on their chins that run under their, you know, underside of their chins. It's almost like beards. Their eyes come in a variety of different colors. You know, they have no whites though. You know, and some of them are wearing fancy hats, and you know. But one of them approaches, calls Hellrun by name. Excellent! You found the off-world as Hellrun. Excellent. Who's the captain?
Iria would step forward. That would be me.
Excellent, excellent. I am Barden. He reaches out, you know, takes your hand. I am an advisor.
V-A-R-D-I-N?
Pardon?
V-A-R-D-I-N?
No, yeah, B-A-R.
Barden, okay.
Barden.
Yeah, Barden.
Okay. Okay.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Captain. I'm so glad you agreed to come and speak with the king. And you notice this guy's basics a lot better than the scout's was.
Mm-hmm. Well, shall we go and do that then?
Yes, please, this way. I do not know the customs of your people, but here we will have to ask you not to enter the presence of the king armed. If some of your party wishes to stay outside the throne room proper, they may keep whatever equipment they generally carry.
Right.
I'll flip my baton, not up, but I'll just flip it out and just hand it to whoever.
Okay. When y'all get close to it, one of the guards takes it.
But my walking stick.
No, that's the excuse I use for my lightsaber.
Before Doc leaves the ship, he would probably get some basic medical supplies with him.
Oh, sure.
Basic for us.
Yeah, basic for us. Probably, dear God, this is magic for everybody else.
Before they leave, Iria will stop Barden's like, where's the ill here?
We have a hospital down in the city. One of two in the city, but one specifically set aside for plague victims.
Right.
Isolation has proven to be the best way to stop it from spreading.
Doc Kelser, find a guide, go.
This feels eerie familiar.
As you wish, Captain. I will carry basic medical supplies. See what I can do.
Kelser, you're on protection detail.
Mm-hmm.
But Barden seems delighted that you're, jumping to the task so quickly. And he calls up, he calls out to the captain of the guard to, send a guard to get, a couple of guardsmen to escort them to the hospital.
I just don't like wasting time.
So they start walking you out. Let's see. Yeah, it'd be walking distance. The rest of you are escorted into the building. Do any of you object to giving up your weapons or choose to stay outside?
Did Cubree come with us?
He chose to stay on the ship.
Okay. I will say R2 is under orders that if everyone's off the ship, he keeps the ship on lockdown.
I'll probably volunteer to stay on the ship as well. Just be like, this is going to be some negotiation stuff. I'm going to go over the information we got.
Also don't go.
And before I go back to the ship, Irie was like, keep an eye on our guest for me, will you?
That's 90% of the reason why I'm staying on the ship.
I can always trust you to be a voice of wisdom.
Big mistake, but okay.
We stayed alive this long.
Can't believe I don't trust Cubree.
Don't trust anybody. It's Setzer and Chu, and we know you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
All right. So
gonna come back at the very end and kill us all.
Iria will put his pistol. We'll leave his pistol with whoever is taking it because he didn't bring his rifle. But he won't give up his dagger.
Is the dagger out obviously visible? Or is it like inside somewhere?
It's on the small of his back, so if they go looking for it, that's plainly visible.
Well, if they can plainly see it, they'll bring it to your attention that you forgot one.
and it's the only thing I have left of my family. It doesn't go anywhere but with me.
There's some nervous looking around.
I don't cause violence unless it's brought to me.
Very well. And he gestures, and a couple of guards basically flank you.
It makes sense.
Fair.
Please understand, I don't mean to insult you or doubt your word, but
Makes sense.
you are
I just
unknown to us. I mean,
I don't trust anyone with that dagger. No one's allowed to touch it but me.
Ozan, what about you?
I gave them my baton. They don't know I have a lightsaber.
Is the lightsaber visible?
Nope.
Okay.
They wouldn't see it, so.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to pat you down or anything. So.
Yeah, no, it's tucked on the inside of her coat, like they'd have to touch something very sensitive, and there's gonna be a lot of lost limbs before it gets to that step.
So you're marched into the throne room. It's a large chamber with a very high ceiling, multiple rows of columns holding up the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Huge open windows on the sides, letting in all kinds of air and fresh light and fresh air.
Mm-hmm.
As you approach, there's a man sitting, in a fancy chair. It's you on a slightly raised section of the floor. Barden walks up. Your Majesty, may I present Captain Iria and his a member of his crew, Ozan. You're going to assume he got all y'all's names and y'all got his.
Oh yeah.
They are the off-worlders that the scout was sent out to find. Captain, this is our king, Groex Koror, Korror.
You're gonna have to type that out.
Korror.
It's like terror, but with a K.
Horror?
Koror, yeah, Koror. Groex is probably the easier one to say. Groex. Excellent. Captain, thank you for coming on such short notice.
Well, you're welcome.
I trust they have explained to you what assistance we need.
You need some form of medication that is normal for us to cure whatever plague that's afflicting your people.
That is the short of it, yes. While the plague has not affected us here as much as it has those in the south, it is beginning to spread up here. One of my viziers has managed to keep us here in the Citadel healthy. Even cured my son when he contracted it. But he is one man and can only do so much. But he had mentioned the marvels of your off-world medicine.
How did this vizier of yours manage to cure it?
He is a magician.
Ozan perks up at that very visibly.
This sounds very suspiciously like someone who's force sensitive to me.
The king sort of shrugged.
Right. So he used his powers, as it were, and he actually there's like a scowl on his face and he looks very uncomfortable and there's a little bit of anger in his voice as he says that before he calms again. To cure your son, or no herbal remedies or anything like that?
No, merely place his hands on him and called upon whatever powers it is he has at his disposal.
Right. Well, I have our ship physician at their hospital who will be looking into it, and depending on what they say is needed, we can move from there.
Excellent. You may, of
That
course,
does-
stay as guests in the palace while this is being done.
Yes. That does, however, bring me to the matter of payment. I am a merchant, first and foremost.
Of course. I'm not expecting you to do this for free.
I am not my sister.
That also gives another look at the
The
captain.
king gets a look like, did I understand those words correctly?
We don't even know your sister.
No, clearly you're not your sister because you're you.
Point being, doing it for free would be something she would do. I am not her.
Oh, I see. Let's see. Well, he has other business to attend to. Once your physician knows what will be needed, we will discuss, I guess prices and costs and the logistics of it all.
Very well.
He tells Bard to, see to their needs, make sure, if they need, refreshment, show them to their room, have rooms prepared for them. Then y'all are kind of escorted out.
And then we just gotta wait on the doctor.
All right, so Keltzer and Doc, you attract quite a crowd walking through town.
Oh, I'm quite sure.
Some people seem a little nervous about you. Mostly, though, it's just people lining up to look at you. Ooh.
Bunch of slack jawed, like, ooh.
You got gangs of children running along the side of the streets keeping up with you. Until you get within about a block of the hospital, and stuff seems to be kind of blocked off. You have some armed men kind of keeping the streets clear around the hospital. Probably, town guard equivalents or whatever, police, whatever you want to call them. The hospital is a 2-story stone structure. All the interior light comes from windows. There's no electricity. There are candles in places, but mostly they're not lit at the moment. There are let's see. I don't want to describe it too much like a real world situation. As you're brought inside, one of the guards calls out. Not in basics, so you're not entirely certain what they're saying. But eventually, a man is brought to you in a kind of a long coat. which you quickly realize is just kind of the doctor uniform for this place. And he speaks basic. And he's just giving you kind of the up and down. You're the off-world doctor?
Yes, greetings. I am MD-5, or in this case, Doc.
Oh. Oh, you're one of the, automatons.
Correct.
Oh, yes, I've read of you. Fascinating. And then he looks over at Kelser. And your friend is also?
Negative.
Well, please, come this way. And he starts explaining to you the symptoms of the plagues, discoloration of the skin, loss of plumage, certain glands that swell painfully. He leads you back into a room, and you notice everybody that goes in puts some kind of like veil on before they walk in. This is one of our worst cases. He's really not expected to live through the day.
Understood. Let us see if we can perform what is known as a miracle. And at this point, Doc's eyes will kind of start to glow as he's like doing a scan.
Okay, give me a medical roll.
Alrighty. Please RNG. And
Literally your function. I don't think you'd have to roll all ones. Yeah, see.
yeah, it's my function. So
All right. So you take some samples, you do some examining. It is it's a bacterial infection. Truthfully, all they really need is some baseline antibiotics. Any med kit has got that sort of stuff. If you want to, you can shoot this guy up.
oh yeah, no. But say he'd quickly reach for the med kit, grab the antibiotic, make a syringe, and quickly give him a dose.
This might hurt a little bit.
This guy is the patient in this room isn't conscious, so.
Oh. You still got that bedside manner. Yes.
That's what the humor chip's for too. It's to help with the bedside manner. So you spend, and you spend the next several hours examining a few others. It all seems to be the same disease. It's pretty pretty contagious. You notice that despite the primitive nature of like the technology around here, there are like wash stands in every room. They do seem to be, the medical staff seems to be washing their hands between one patient and the next. Speaking with the doctor, you find out they've got a basic understanding of like germ theory. But then they've been in contact with
Other civilizations.
Yeah. So some information has made its way down to them. And yeah, by the end of the day, that first patient you examined is doing better, noticeably better. He's gonna have a long recovery period, but and of course you don't have enough of the medicine with you to treat everybody in the hospital.
No, he would have probably used up every bit of the antibiotic to the ones he could.
Mm.
Better on,
And
like,
if you
that
ask,
store.
the doctor will show you around to like all the worst.
Yeah, he gave them to the worst cases that was, or what they claim to be worse, and what doc can like scan and tell. Yeah, you're noticeably worse than the rest.
And the doctor explains to you that older members are getting hit. Older members and children get hit harder, which is true of a lot of diseases.
Mm.
Though you notice you can't tell who's older. All the adults look about the same. Look at the same age.
They have
when
no
you do
definitive sign.
when you medically examine them, you can kind of tell. Okay, this one's a little bit older, but there's not a lot of outward sign.
Gotta count carbon. You have to carbon date them.
Well, their feathers don't gray when they get old. Their skin doesn't seem to get a whole lot more wrinkly or anything.
Yeah, unlike us, they have no definitive sign of, hey, you're an old motherfucker.
Well, again, they're like birds. A lot of birds are like that. So yeah, you examine people and stuff until you think you got a pretty firm hand on what the disease is. You don't think it's anything the crew has to worry about.
Mm-hmm. Actually, Doc is going to do one thing. He is going to ask the doctor, can he show him what they have on hand for medical supplies? Reason being, Doc is going to look over and see if they have stuff on hand to make the antibiotic.
All right, a quick examination, though. They cannot make the antibiotic you need. And as far as what they've got alcohol that they use for cleaning purposes. It's a very concentrated, like distilled alcohol, but it works.
Awesome fun in a pinch.
They've got some sort of local plant life that they burn like incense.
Okay.
That you examine it. The smoke from this would have some mild, like antimicrobial effects, but probably not enough to be worth the trouble they go to for it. But and other than that, it's mostly bandages, some local medicine to try to lower fevers and stuff, but nothing. It's appallingly I cannot talk today. You're appalled at how primitive it is.
Well, Doc, or he'll look at the doctor and be like, well, good news for you. What you need is something simple and something that I can easily get.
Excellent. We'll need it in a very large volume, of course.
Of course. Me and my companion here shall rendezvous back with our captain and see about negotiating with your king about tribute.
He kind of tilts his head at the word tribute.
Sorry, poor choice of words. Shipment.
Ah, yes. Well, thank you for your assistance. Whatever happens from here, at least you've certainly saved some lives today.
Affirmative. Again, tried to perform what is known as miracle. Now try to be the one to personally deliver and assist more when a larger dose has been acquired.
Well, I look forward to seeing you again then, Doctor.
May you have a wonderful night.
You go back outside. The guards that escorted you were waiting outside. They did not go into the hospital.
Oh, I bet they did not. Depending
fact,
on
you
how
get the
bad they're
idea
scared of it.
you get the idea that most of the staff of this hospital, aren't going home at night. They've got rooms set aside for them.
Fair enough.
But so you walk back. The crowds aren't as thick watching you this time because it's later in the day. But you get back. Are y'all going to stay in the rooms in the palace, or y'all going to stay on the ship?
Are you asking just them two? Or are you asking all of us?
Really, any of y'all,
Aria's gonna stay on the ship because that's his home.
Ozen, when everyone's like dispersed and like gone where they're gonna rest, is gonna just find somebody and be like, "Excuse me, is the Vizier available to speak to?"
You poke around for a little while before you find somebody that speaks basic. The servants don't seem to speak it, so when you start talking to them, they're just kind of like,
Okay.
But basically, anybody you walk up to in fancier clothes, it tends to speak at least a little bit of it.
Sure. And if I have to like slow the speech down a little bit to be like, "Vizier."
Well, you finally find one that speaks pretty decent basic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the king has several viziers. Is there a particular one you needed to speak with?
The one who cured his son.
Oh, Janos.
Janos.
I have not seen him around today, but he often retreats out into the countryside to his monastery. No, not monastery, hermitage.
Would you happen to know about where it is? I want to just compare notes.
Oh, certainly. And he's able to rattle off. He doesn't know. He's never been there. He doesn't know the exact location, but
Just approximate.
yeah, it's like the nearest little village.
I'll make that trek.
Up the hill. And he's kind of off into the woods to the west of that town.
I'll make that trek.
That village. Okay. It's a couple of hours walk. It's not very far. It's a little farming community. I say
That's
town.
fine.
It's a little farming community.
Captain, I'm gonna be out to just see the countryside. Don't mind me. I'll be back later.
And by the time Doc and Keltzer get back, it's late enough that you're going to meet with the king in the morning anyway.
Alrighty.
Alright, so we've made it back to the ship.
Yes. Oh, yeah, and like I was telling you, Doc, your examination of the disease is not something humans or near humans are going to have to worry about catching. There's a couple of species that might have to worry about it. The Foss are one, and the how do you even pronounce that name? The Tishar, TISS''SHAR.
Sure.
Basically, any sort of
Avian.
bird-like, reptile-like, dinosaur-like, anything that kind of falls in that range is really what this might affect.
It's the bird flu.
I mean, that was my first suspicion, but
But the symptoms are a little bit more like bubonic plague.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doc would find the captain and report his findings. Let him know what's up.
Okay.
And basically that what they just need is good antibiotics.
Mm-hmm.
And that if the captain's willing, we could probably see about cutting a deal and getting at least a good shipment. I assume what would be considered at least one good crate, spacefaring wise. But that's guesstimation.
Oh, no. If you wanted to cure a sizable city, you're gonna need some volume on this stuff.
All right, fair.
All right. So Ozen was heading out of town.
Jeez.
Nah, but Jeremy's gone.
Yeah, it said BRB.
Oh, I see it now. All right. All right. So all of y'all were basically staying on the ship, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of our stuff's there already.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Once Doc gets back and makes his report on the disease, Cubree tells you he's gonna go check out the town.
Don't get stabbed.
He's feeling kind of claustrophobic in the ship.
Okay.
And yeah, to Io, he's like, yeah, I'll try not to.
Or stab anyone.
No promises. I just want to see what sort of liquor they have around here.
Probably something birdseed based.
So he heads out. Alright, so we will cut to the next morning. We'll jump back to what Jeremy was doing when he gets back.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so the next morning you're invited to sit with the king for breakfast. And there's a pretty good spread. There's some meats, some vegetables. Yeah, eggs are also apparently a breakfast food for these people.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe they're live bearing bird people.
Yeah, could be.
Or maybe they just eat
Otherwise,
other-
it's got. If not, this is really weird.
Yeah.
They only eat the poor. Don't worry about it.
All right.
But so as you get there, the king, Captain, it's good to see you again. One of my doctors has reported in on the good work that your medical droid did yesterday. And then he's looking at Doc. He's like, several of the patients are already showing a marked recovery. Patients they didn't think were going to live through the night.
I do believe this is what they would call ecstatic news.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's very promising. And I believe you told him that the medicine you were using will not be hard for you to acquire.
In general sense, no. Should be something relatively simple to acquire. The next problem is locating a supplier.
More to the point, considering how widespread this seems to be, it's locating the amount of supply that your planet seems to need.
Yes. My primary concern is, of course, my own league. Though, if we had a surplus, of course, we would export it to the surrounding countries that need it. But
Current concern is for you and your kin.
Such as it is, such is the morality of kings. I am responsible for my nation. If I can help others, I will, but my nation must take precedent.
I believe
Curing
that
the
is
other. Go ahead.
He would just play. I believe that is what they consider acceptable.
Wouldn't curing the other nations also ensure that your nation survives? You can't trade with countries that are no longer there.
Well, the mortality rate of the disease is unlikely to wipe us out to the man.
Unless it mutates. Goes unchecked.
He's clearly puzzling over the word mutate.
Change.
Hmm.
Diseases.
Well, to put it another way, I seriously doubt my kingdom could afford to pay for enough to cover our entire world.
Apologies. Back.
Welcome back.
Could see if perhaps the other people wanted to pitch in. I'm sure if they hear that there's a cure, they would also perhaps.
Well, certainly you'd be free to make deals with whomever else you wished.
How widespread is this?
To the south, it is much more prevalent, truthfully. In our kingdom, it's only starting to take root. Mostly in the major cities, the trading hubs especially. But that is, of course, where this sort of thing always tends to happen. Down to the south, it's begun to spread out into the countryside some.
And have you thought about what will happen when the medicine runs out?
It is my hope to be able to set up a steady supply. I suppose that gets us down to the business at hand, Captain. I would like to hire you and your crew most immediately to go out and get as large a supply as possible and bring it back here. Longer term, I would hire you to negotiate a more steady contact with a trading house, or yourself if you're regularly in the area, to get regular supplies. I'm sure whoever produces the medicine, would be more than happy to have more customers.
Well, that's the thing. Is a lot of our people go off of a fairly standardized currency. What do you use?
Among nations, we use coinage. For the common people, it's mostly barter. Do your people value precious metals?
Depending on the metal.
The majority of coins we use are silver.
Player to DM, what would be how much would
Exchange
silver go exchange rate for silver to credits?
It's actually a very good question.
Didn't they say something about lumber too that they bartered out?
Yeah.
Yes, lumber is something they export a lot of. This league is in a very forested area.
Is it a fancy lumber, like used in like exotic furniture kind of thing?
Well, it would be exotic compared to, anything off this world. It's something akin to cedar. it's important here because you're talking about early Iron Age, so just steady supplies of lumber is just real important to building much of anything.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is, this planet has not been heavily exploited
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't have a whole lot. I mean, silver is silver. You know, precious metals are precious metal. That's still going to be a thing.
Yeah.
And certainly they can export lumber, but lots of places export lumber that already have infrastructure to do it.
Yeah. So it would be a matter of they need a rather extensive supply, but they don't really have a lot of trade goods for it.
Right. I mean, they might be able to set up some kind of deal, but it's going to involve building up the infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
They
it's a
wanna
project. The scope is probably outside of kind of your, you know, what your character would be comfortable doing.
Yeah.
Though you might be able to get him in contact with somebody, and certainly this initial supply that they need just immediately. You know, you've got what 100 tons of cargo space on your ship. You could bring back enough to seriously help anyway.
Mm-hmm. The planet that Cubree was supposed to go to.
That's the
Is
planet you're
it-
on.
No, the one that he
We
was
don't
going
know what
to.
planet he was
Yeah,
going
Cubree
to.
didn't know where he was going.
Oh, okay.
These people were supposed to pick him up.
Yeah, we know
Yeah,
where
they-
their ship came from and where we're meeting up. We don't know where he was going.
Okay.
He's going to Kala, right?
No, that's
Like,
where
that
the
ship was going to
That's
Kala?
where it came from.
that's
had
where they
come
came from.
Kala.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do not know where Homeboy is supposed to go.
I thought I heard it that you said it was it came from Kala, but they were also to go back. I don't remember. Maybe I misremember.
Right. Is Cubree still out around on town?
He had come back to the ship before dawn. I mean,
Mhm.
he was out kind of late, but nothing freakish. You know, midnight, 1, something like that.
Right.
Did anything weird happen with me? Right?
We're gonna jump back and cover that once we're finished with the breakfast negotiations.
Yep.
First things first. We are on job already to take someone somewhere, although that's arrived at a hiccup. He works for some rather unscrupulous folks.
I'm just picturing Cubree sitting at the breakfast table like,
The hell, man?
put my business out there.
Well, did Cubree come to breakfast?
Yeah,
'Cause
give me
he's
the
not-
opportunity.
I'm about to say, because he's not officially part. Okay. So then this will be something that he will mention to the king in private then.
Okay.
I heard it's for the crew, and Cubree isn't part of the crew. I didn't know he was there too.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I don't know that the king realizes Cubree is not part of the crew.
Fair
Right.
enough.
Well, see, we're on
Yeah.
job. We're on job at present, though I could certainly see about sourcing a shipment. Being the one in charge of getting more here is outside the scope of my own expertise. So I'd have to find somebody for that.
I can understand that if you could just put us in touch with someone.
See what I can do.
You know, we are unfortunately in the position of being unable to even contact someone off world. So we are simply lucky that your ship or ships arrived when you did.
Well, there's probably a third one around here somewhere. But did you find the exchange rate for silver to credits?
No, I have not yet. So we will merely vaguely talk about so many credits worth of silver,
Okay. All right, fine.
and not worry too much about the exact poundage.
All right, so let's see here. One med pack.
I think a med pack's 100.
Med pack is 100. See medical.
I think there's a medicines listed too.
A med kit, which has 10 packs in it, is 1,200.
Do we need the whole med kit or just the antibiotic faction of it?
Yeah, see, the whole med kit is diagnostic instruments and
Yeah, I don't
all
think
that
we
stuff.
need that bit.
Yeah, probably the medicines.
Okay. I'm trying to.
And of course, you'll have to negotiate the exact prices. This is the baseline. You might be able to get a discount for bulk and all that.
Well, there is the Biotech Mark 16. Could potentially go find.
Could also try playing on the hearts of more charitable worlds than us.
Yeah.
What you do is you load up your ship, you sell all of that to him, and then you go, oh, by the way, there's these charities that'll help you out too.
Well, after the initial shipment.
Well, if you manage to find one of those, let me know. Doc, if he's here.
Aye.
Because he's a droid at breakfast.
Just kind of awkwardly.
But he's the doctor, and y'all are talking about a sickness, so it makes sense to have
Okay.
him.
I mean, if anything, he would literally just be standing off to the side, just waiting for instructions or
background.
input. He'd just be there.
Servants keep coming by and offering you food.
awkwardly holding toast.
Given your design, I want you and Io to work together to find a source of to find a good source of Biotech Mark 16 enzymers. From your description of the illness, that's going to be what they probably need.
Should be easy enough. Legal, illegal.
Whatever puts credits on the table.
Got
Affirmative.
it.
Find me a price, about 100 tons worth, and then we can discuss negotiations with you, Your Highness, after that.
That sounds fair. And the rest of the breakfast passes with him making small talk about, other worlds you've seen.
I'll say I throw that out because I was looking through the D6 Holocron page. It has like everything from the tabletops. It's like game notes. An enzymer is a device that grows and identifies biological residues and produces a counteragent to known bacteria and viruses. Enzymer can only reproduce counteragents to diseases and certain parasites. So
you may sell them the equipment to make their own.
basically, that is his plan, is to get the equipment that grows it for them so they don't get exploited by the
Corporate sector.
corporate sector. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
It was
corporate
like
sector's
looking for
a
a different
very-
word, but like the corporate sector in general.
Mhm.
Now,
Okay.
flashing back to the night before, as Ozen left town.
Yes.
So yeah, you run down the road, a couple hours steady march, and no, up into the into the hill slightly in this little farming community. It's dark when you get there, but there's still a few people moving around in town.
I'll ask around as well. Like, his name was Jonna, or was it Java? It wasn't Java.
Janos.
It's like Janos.
What does he do? Run video games for computer? Sorry, I had to.
Janos. All right. And I'll just ask around a little bit for Janos. Not. And again, looking for someone who speaks. I'll wait to see if someone speaks common,
You mean?
and if I don't get it, or basic, yeah. And if nobody does, I'll just be frustrated, be like, Janos?
Small farming community, nobody here speaks basic. Janos is
Yep.
a name they know.
Yep.
Eventually, one guy seems to volunteer to take you. You know, he kind of points out
point.
where he goes, then he points to you. You know.
Shit, I can't do that. Might be flipping somebody off here. I'll nod.
So yeah, and off he goes.
Now, I will follow. A little cautious, just kind of trying to get the vibe of this person, since we don't share a language.
Yeah, nobody jumps out and tries to knife you.
I assume no one tries to knife me. It's more just trying to get the vibe of this particular person.
What is your
Perception's pretty high.
give me just a straight perception roll?
Sure. Ooh. 16.
16? Okay. As this guy's leading you back to the woods, you realize nobody. Not that you were interacting with a lot of people in the little community or little town,
Mhm.
but none of these people looked at you like you were anything particularly weird.
Sure.
Oh, you're a stranger, so that's interesting.
I'm not dressed. I don't think I'm dressed any more like an off-worlder in comparison to most people. Definitely not a bird person, but you know.
Yeah. But anyway, that's something that sticks out to you, is that, I'm kind of out in the country, but they don't seem particularly weirded out by me.
Okay.
But you go ahead.
I was gonna say that doesn't like raise a suspicion in me, right? With that roll.
That's
an
just what you know.
observation.
You're like, oh, they didn't seem weirded out. But this guy leads you back to a stone house. It looks pretty small. Maybe a couple of 100 square feet tops.
I'll go like this and go like that.
He points, Janos.
I'll put my hand out to try to shake.
He shakes your hand. That seems to be a
Okay.
gesture they picked up.
Yep. She'll nod and
And when this guy sees you approaching the door.
Yep.
And as you approach, there's a little, like this little stone building. There's a little garden patch next to it. And then some like decorative, just flowering plants. There's light coming out the window, or the shutters are closed, but you can see light through the cracks. A little bit of smoke coming out of a chimney.
Interesting. Knock.
There's a response from inside that's not a language you recognize. Oh yeah, you recognize it as the native local language.
Hello? I'll say that in basic.
You hear a sigh from Poodoo. What do you want?
Guess again.
What do you want?
I would just like to speak with you. I do not have the plague.
What do you want to talk to me about? And you can hear the voice as it got closer to the door.
The method to which you healed this person,
Which person?
the
I've healed
king's
several.
son.
Ah, yes. Good lad. It would have been a shame for him to be cut short.
Has he actually opened the door, or is it still between us?
It's still between you.
Huh?
I'm sure they told you at the Capitol I'm magic.
As he gets close enough and he says, I'm magic, I would like to try another sense roll.
Alright.
1! I got nothing.
Really good at this.
Magic sounds familiar. Wanted to exchange notes on magic.
Where are you from and why are you on this world?
The crew? I am on this planet helping to alleviate the plague. This what we're doing here. Now note if he ever opens the door, I'll note that I don't even have my comm piece.
Finally, he cracks the door open.
And I'll go, this, and I'll note I don't have my comm piece, is for my benefit, my curiosity.
Fine, come in.
She'll walk in.
And he's got a robe pulled up.
They look vaguely similar to me.
The cut of it probably is, though it's in some of the colorful fabric that the locals use.
Sure. Okay.
Uh,
It isn't
so-
a strict palette swap of whatever I'm wearing.
no.
Okay.
You don't get a good look at his face right away, but you can tell at a glance he's human.
Mhm.
He's got the typical 5-fingered hand and all that. And he's like old and kind of wrinkly.
You're also older.
Yeah, thank you for noticing. You know how annoying it is to live on a planet
move.
full of people that don't look old.
Oh, I'm starting to notice that. You see, like, Ozen will remove her hood, and you see, like, some crow's feet that are, like, there.
This guy throws back his hood, and what hair he's got left is white. It's like he's got the first season Next Generation Picard little fringe of hair.
Gotcha.
Almost makes him look like a friar.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, you used magic, or maybe you have another term for it that you don't use with the natives.
I don't have any other terms that I use for it.
Now, do
I
you
only
spell?
use the terms the natives use.
Is that right?
He walks back over to this big pot that he's got over his fire.
How familiar are you with the Force?
I've heard of it.
Heard of it? It's in everything. It's in everybody. It's what they taught me when I was growing up.
I thought the Empire put an end to all that kind of talk. And he kind of looks
Don't
at
worry,
you like he's judging
I've
your age.
I've also looked out the window and oh, he's looking at me. I was like, I've also looked out the window and made sure there's no one here. Well, you know, it's harder it's harder than that to put down an entire order of people. People just slip through the cracks.
Maybe a few here and there.
Now,
You must have been awfully young when that happened.
yes. Now go into the I'm just gonna hold my hand up like this, and I'll go and reach for this lightsaber. It's kind of twirl it, and so this means nothing to you.
I know what it is.
Sure.
He reaches
Put it
out.
back.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
he reaches out and
If he
touches it.
touches it.
You know, he kind of looks it over. Is it supposed to have some specific significance?
Just whenever people like to talk about magic, I like to come along and see if I found a peer. I guess.
Is it a double-bladed one? Is that what you ended up going with?
It is. So it's double bladed, but the bottom part, there's two halves of it, and then it's got like a ligature and like leather wrapping, so that it looks maybe less like a double bladed and more like two single bladed like fused together.
All right, so it's not
Yes,
something
it
he
is.
would just easily snap apart.
No,
Okay.
it is bound. It's like really leather bound. It's got like a metallic ligature that's like attached where the hilts would connect.
Mhm. It's probably dangerous to carry one of these around, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I am
I'm
coming
sure
here at
I'm
great
sure the
personal
Empire is
risk.
still hunting for your kind.
Are they? Okay. Just
Yeah,
double checking.
with the fall of the Empire, you really don't know what's going on as far as that goes.
Fair enough.
You haven't poked your head up to see.
I came here at great personal risk because I wanted to see if there was a peer, and it appears that I did not. There is not. And that is
Sorry
okay.
you wasted your time.
It's okay.
Do you go around hunting down peers
No.
often?
No, absolutely. The word magic is used to describe a lot of things, and I just wanted to double check.
You know what? Pull that thing out again. Turn it on for me.
She ignites the top half.
What color is the top half?
Indigo. Or, sorry, purple.
He looks a little surprised at that. Well, that was not a common one.
It's also a pretty gaudy piece. Hazy and smelt. So it's very frou-frou for Ozin's otherwise what's the word, like tactical?
Aesthetic.
I don't know. Aesthetic, that's it.
Before the revolution, she was a bougie Jedi.
I'll switch it off. And you? Nothing?
Oh, if I'd had something like that, I'd have gotten rid of it a long time ago.
Some pieces are harder to get rid of than others. I've thought about it a few times. Something just keeps drawing me to hold on to it.
Give me a perception. I guess search. And as you're talking, he pulls, using this big, spoon or stick or something. He dips something, out of the big pot over his fire. You realize he's washing his clothes.
29.
He pulls something out and wrings it out and then hangs it up.
Mm-hmm.
You got a what now?
29.
Looking around the room, you see he's got a lot of books. Which, paper books aren't something you see often out and about in the galaxy. But that's about the best you'd get on this world. You also see something sitting on a shelf, kind of partially, there's like books stacked up next to it and there's books on top of it. That looks something like that.
What is this guy's name again? I totally blanked on it. Janos?
Janos.
Janos. Janos?
Hmm?
What's that? I'll point at the holocron.
Oh, it's a bunch of books.
Behind the books.
Just a piece of local art.
So you wouldn't mind if I took a look at it?
Go ahead.
I'll pick up the holocron.
And when you touch it, it starts to glow. Well, you can't really see how much this thing's glowing.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's really cool, actually.
But yeah, it starts to glow with an inner light when you touched it.
One of these in a while.
Yep, I imagine most of them were likely destroyed or packed away into private collections.
Maybe the latter. They do like their trophies. Do I get anything off of it, or do I actually have to is there actually a role to get into the holocron? I don't think there is.
Yeah, I don't think
you
there
just
was
have to be
anything
force
specific.
sensitive.
So do you try to fire it up?
Yes. Give me 1 sec and try to fire it up.
Okay. A hologram appears above it. It is a hologram of Janos.
Mm-hmm.
And when it starts talking, it sounds like Janos.
Mm-hmm.
He identifies, it starts up, he identifies himself as a Jedi, as the Jedi Knight Janos Sarn. And asking you what he can assist you with.
Happened.
Do it now.
I said, what happened?
You ought to be more specific, lad, or lass.
What happened to you?
And he launches into, found at an early age by the Order, raised by the Order. He kind of glosses over his career.
Sure.
And then goes into the, when the Order fell.
Mhm.
He was leading a small squad of clone troopers. And while he was badly injured, he managed to get away from him. The corporate sector had been fairly... I think they were fairly neutral during the Clone Wars. And were technically independent, so he was already relatively close, so he made his way here. Settled on a primitive world where he didn't figure anyone would find him.
How unlucky for you. Do you know any other survivors?
He does not.
I'll deactivate and give it back to him.
He takes it and sits over the side. Brings out some more clothes, hangs it up over close to the fire. Something of my memoir.
Interesting. I have a similar story. My master fell, and yeah, that's about it. I went as far off the Empire's radar as I could get, and thing led to another, and here I am too.
This has been a good place to hide. I don't think anyone from the Empire has ever been here.
It's good. It's a good place. I'll tell you what. We'll keep each other's secret, all right?
Sounds fair.
Shake on it.
He kind of smirks and shakes your hand.
Do the like whole wrist thing that Iron Age handshake.
Who is your master?
Her name was Aranala. She was not necessarily particularly well known, I don't think, but out there fighting the good fight. Until we weren't.
Until the clones turned traitor and killed us all.
It's a good idea to be a Jedi until it wasn't.
So what's been happening out in the galaxy after all this time?
I have no idea. I'm with this crew, this off-world crew.
Yeah, but you've been running around out in the galaxy, though.
Oh, yeah.
Those that would have a basic idea of what was going on.
I'd basically spout off the plot to Star Wars Rebels.
He perks up finding out the Empire has fallen, sort of.
Because that's the planet that Ozen stayed at. On that planet where most of that took place.
So if your master died, I assume you had not finished your training.
No.
That's unfortunate.
I've also not cut my connection first, but I've tried to limit it as much as I can.
It's like a muscle. If you let it, it will atrophy.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time sensing others rather than how I used to.
So is your crew going to be able to help the people here?
Yes. I think so.
Good.
I don't think Ozen met them to get a status update, so
yeah.
She'll just say, "Yeah, I assume."
Good.
I assume as much.
I could keep the rulers in the city healthy, but that was about as much as I could do.
You're doing good work here.
Yeah, I'm trying. I can't turn my back on all the teachings.
It admittedly does my heart good to see others out here still in the galaxy. You have a wonderful evening. This was enlightening.
It was good meeting you.
And may the force be with you.
And with you.
She'll about face and admittedly probably have a late weight rise compared to everybody else.
As you get to the door, he asks you, you say your connection has atrophied. With the Empire gone, are you going to try to restore it?
Gotta start somewhere.
And he reaches over and grabs that holocron and offers it to you.
Are you sure?
It's doing no one any good here. I was never a master, but this will help you relearn the basics.
She'll take it like kind of like if someone would accept like an award for something and take it and like kind of shake a little bit and like, thank you. This means a lot. She'll tuck it away.
So yes, and then by the time you get home, yeah, you're probably late getting to breakfast.
Like as they're like negotiating, Ozen's just like rubbing sleet out of her eyes.
Well, she gets there and they're already at the small talk phase. You just come in and sit down and you notice a servant trying to get Doc to eat some toast.
Apologies, I'm usually better at waking up.
Late night.
You could say that.
Find anything useful?
Small farming town, wooded area. It's farmers. It was less to see anything useful and more to see the countryside. Light and air pollution makes it hard to see in most other cities.
There's some light pollution here, not a whole lot. So anyway, breakfast wraps up. Doc would come back with probably his estimation of was it the price of you were wanting 100 tons of medicine basically?
Well, if we manage to find the Enzymers, then as long as we can get the stuff to them to keep them operational, then we technically won't need to continually ferry medicines to the planet. And they could get the medication they need as self-sufficient.
At least for as long as the machinery worked.
Yeah.
Which, granted, Star Wars tech tends to be pretty durable.
Made out of Nintendium.
Made out of Nokium.
Nintendo's not even made out of Nintendium anymore.
Yeah.
Let's see, there's a price thing for...
I looked on the D6 Holocron. I didn't list a price for one.
Yeah, I checked the actual book that I was into, and it didn't list one either.
Okay. then you're probably talking about something fairly expensive piece of equipment. But you've got, a national treasury backing you, so.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it says availability 1. I'm not sure if that means like the rarity of it or.
Availability 1 means readily available throughout the galaxy.
Oh, well, there we go then.
2 means available only in large cities and spaceports throughout the Empire and corporate sector.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
Okay, so it's probably not too bad. We'll price it. Let's see, what's a back to tank?
Completely different. Backed is super expensive.
A back to tank is $3,000. Availability 2.
Okay.
That probably is the rarity then.
No.
Oddly specific.
Well, it says where, so it's like. Alright, so back to tank's 3,000. So we'll say an Enzymer's like 1,500. We'll just cut the price in half.
Okay.
And you'd want several of them and spread them out.
Okay.
As you're talking with the king, he inquires about the price of droids. Could they get some droids like your crewmate here?
Well, Kessler, how expensive was he?
With the upgrades I attached to him.
Okay, base model.
Non-combat model.
As the player, give me a second.
He'll,
That was player going non-combat model.
yeah, as you're looking that up, he'll actually turn to Doc's like, speaking of, who the hell made you?
I was made by a standard manufacturer. Why do I not pose the correct interface?
A lot of the routines you've been running lately are definitely not standard.
Apologies. If need be, I can clean old files.
No, that wouldn't even matter anyway.
So it doesn't give me a price, but medical droids, the 2-1B, about like 4,000 credits.
Okay.
Or 4,300 credits.
For a new one, yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, when you explain to the king what Enzymers are, he's interested in those. He still wants at least a small supply of just medicine so they can use for those that are suffering, just immediately. At least for the worst cases. But the ability to produce their own, he's very interested in that. He might be able to, help, at least eventually help all the surrounding area. And spare parts and at least a couple of droids that could repair the stuff.
So we'd be looking at something like an astromech that does repairs.
Yeah, quite possibly. 1 or 2 medical droids, some communication equipment so they can call out for help from here on out if they need to. You can tell his immediate concern is the disease itself, but that he also likes the ideal of being able to contact the outside.
Help.
Is Cubree with us for this second round?
if you want him to be, he can be. If you specifically don't want him to be there, then y'all could find a way to.
Oh yeah,
leave him on the ship.
he's not gonna want Cubree there.
Okay, then he's on the ship.
All right, look, I'm all for help. That'd be a lie. Getting the other stuff is fine. You just blindly throwing communications out in space, that's a good way to get you, your people, everything on this planet basically liquidated.
Well, it's not as though our presence is a secret anyway. I mean, we have had visitors before.
Yes, but you're not actively calling out looking for trades right now either.
True, but if we don't have a way to communicate, the next time some emergency like this comes up that we can't take care of ourselves, are we supposed to simply sit back and hope another stranger shows up that can help us? We're very fortunate to find you.
Don't want me to be blunt with you.
Please, feel free.
That's what every other race here did. We didn't wait for somebody to find it. We took care of the problem ourselves. We found a way to do it. Getting the immediate need taken care of, I don't mind helping with that. But you need to, but the decisions you make, you need to work on walking your own path through destiny.
Give me a bargain roll. See how good you are at changing his mind.
Your specialty, buddy.
Io somewhere in the background. Don't sell your daughters.
But I have so many of them.
Oh no.
You know what? Because of what he's trying to do, and this sounds like something probably his sister would be saying, to try to make them self-sufficient so they can't be used by other people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use my force point and trust in the force for this.
Okay.
Hey.
Roll double the dice.
You rolling 16d6?
I'm rolling 8.
Oh.
I only have 4.
Still really good.
I only have 4d6 for bargain because I put 1 point in it.
Gotcha.
28.
All right, he got 18 because bargaining is kind of one of his things. So yeah, you seem to get through to him. You know, maybe he's thinking about things in his own, world's history where people were exploited. Very well, very well. We'll forego the communication equipment. But if you could bring us back books, knowledge, things to give us a advantage in taking, in addressing further problems, medical texts, that sort of thing.
Well, Doc would be perfect for that. Have an entire database in their heads.
Well, in that case, we definitely want our own docs.
Those aren't cheap.
And if they break down, you have no one here to repair them.
Me, OOC. Yeah, you do.
Same.
So anyway, the morning we finished out with the specific negotiations, and we'll figure out by next week we'll figure out exactly what what the cost will be, and then you'll make your final negotiation roll to see what he's actually going to pay you.
Mhm.
We should also probably contact Arnox next week.
Yeah.
Definitely should have done that.
Can we do that real
He'll
quick
do that
before we
with like
end?
2 minutes to go. Yeah.
Sure. Negotiations wrap up. Y'all go back to the ship.
Io will make sure it's a very secure line. Do I need to roll for that, or because of it being like their ship, is it fairly secure?
It's fairly secure.
Okay.
All right, so you send out the message. You try to open a channel.
I also will say before we leave, he'll mention that what I was gonna say before is one of the people we came with. We were taking them to the other group that we ran into that is dead. He works for a group that will think absolutely nothing of exploiting you for everything you have that is useful to them.
Io in the background.
So, if you want my advice, accept no deals from anyone unless it comes through me. For right now. Until we get this dealt with.
Well, with that previous role, you have he has confidence in you at the moment. So, but anyway, so when y'all get to the ship, you send out you make contact. It's one of the flunkies that like answers the call basically, and he runs off to get somebody and
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
And you see Ludo the Hutt comes into view, holograph of him comes into view. By the time he's getting on there, Cubree joins you in the cockpit.
Hello, Ludo.
Captain, how's my ship?
Holding up well enough. Took point blank cannon fire a bit ago, but it hardly scratched. So well done.
That ship is a work of art. You're not supposed to get into fights with it.
Well, tell that to the people who decided to shoot the ship.
Well, I hope they're dead.
I'm about to say, well, you can't because they're dead.
Ah, I see. I see Cubree is still on board with you.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. We need to talk to my brain going, uncle, right?
Uncle.
Yeah. We need to speak with your uncle.
This doesn't sound good. One moment. And a minute or so later, you see Arnox's big couch, and he's reclined back in it.
Arnox, hello, hi.
Captain, my dearest friend.
Yeah, your people dropped the ball.
I beg your pardon?
Well, they're all dead because something leaked somewhere. Their ship got gutted, except for the laser cannons, which they turned on us. But that has been dealt with, and they're all dead. Basically, this just occurred to say, hey, we didn't just abandon Cubree. Here he is.
I see. This is unfortunate.
Yeah.
That crew had been specifically chosen because they were known to operate in the area.
Well, I've got all 4 of their bodies in stasis in my cargo hold.
Oh, well, that doesn't mean no good. Feel free to flush them out into space or recycle them as food. I don't care.
Nah, I'll rebury him then. Whatever.
Hmm. In that case, Captain, to consider the job complete, escort Cubree, if you would, to Kala. It was the base the Hut's messenger crew was based out of.
Understood.
The plan was for you to meet them here, and then them going home again wouldn't raise any suspicion.
Yeah, but you probably have a rival already operating in the area, no doubt.
It is possible. Or a leak in my organization. Good help is so hard to find, Captain. I'm sure you understand.
Yeah, I do. As a courtesy for a friend, you might want to look into your organization at home on Nar Shaddaa for right now. We had people trying to tail us back to the ship before we left, but they were dealt with.
Excellent. Yep. Our previous deal remains the same once you've dropped Cubree off. Remain in the area, taking whatever side jobs you wish, and I will contact you again when I need something specific.
Very well.
I will attempt to flush out whatever double agent is in my organization.
All right. I'll see it done then.
Yeah, at that point he disconnects. He doesn't even, there's not even a goodbye. He looks like he's already thinking about other things.
Yeah, that was Iria specifically like targeting the conversation so that Cubree didn't get a chance to mention this planet to the Hut before the Hut's like, I got other things to think about. Click. Well,
Cubree's got a Kala. Okay. Pretty metropolitan city. I can blend in there.
All right. We'll leave in the next day or two. Those bodies are of no more use to me anyways. They need to be disposed of.
You think it's possibly Ludo? Just throwing out names.
Do you say that while Cubree's still in the room?
Sure, why not? Huts are known to climb ladders of power. Perhaps he wants a taste of his uncle's organization.
Cubree's like, it could be. Frankly, it could be anybody in his organization, though.
Well, like I said, give us about a day and we'll get underway.
Cubree nods. He seems relieved just to have kind of a plan of action now.
See, so
he walks silently out of the room.
Being ferried to... You said it was Kala was the name?
A-L.
Yes, Kala. Kalla.
Okay. I have that written down.
And like I said, pretty metropolitan planet, so as good a place as any to look for the supplies you're going to be looking for.
Yeah. That's in particular what I was going to be asking about next.
Yeah. So we're going to wrap here. I'd originally planned to get off this planet today, but time got away from me.
I mean, we'll be leaving it probably first thing, beginning of next session.
Oh, yeah.
Probably. Because we've already got a plan of action with this job, too.
So anyway, well, like I said, we'll wrap here. Hope everybody had fun. I enjoyed it. Turned out to be more kind of character introductions and, well, more talking than shooting, but we'll probably make up for that next week.
Depends, but yes.
Oh, yay!
Oh boy.
Well, it's just you're pretty sure there's another starship on this planet somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's waiting in orbit for you,
But
We're
it
not
is.
not saying it.
but I'm not saying it's not up there either.
Yeah.
Start calculating before we leave.
I mean, we know there's a third ship out there somewhere. That's absolutely what he's going to be having R2 do, is calculate the astrogation jumps,
The second we're out of the gravity well, punch it.
basically.
Or break Atmo, go.
So anyway, if anybody else out there getting tired of gaming this week, Jeremy, what's coming up on Dire Bear?
I actually don't know if because I think I don't remember if the troubleshooters was like close to conclusion for the season or not. So if Otter's in chat, or if Heath is still in chat, he can let me know, or they can just say it out loud. But you can tune in tomorrow for False Scholar Nights with JT. Thursday is a Knight's Ransom with Pink Rambo. Saturday is the Stolen Cities with Alex. Sunday is the Varenheim with Trail. And if they're still doing it, the Troubleshooters is on Monday with Heath. And then you can come back to us tomorrow for some more Tuesday for more Star Wars.
Let's say we playing tomorrow. What?
No,
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
absolutely not.
Won't
Every
be able
day.
to make it. Won't be able to make it. I'm sorry.
Every day.
So anyway, until next week. Let's see, where's my everybody?
I
wave.
got a holocron.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.